As the chief elections official in Washington state, Steve Hobbs expresses concern about the threat that former President Donald Trump poses to democracy. He worries about the possibility of Trump returning to power and the impact it might have on Americans' trust in elections. Recent decisions in Maine and Colorado to exclude Trump from presidential primary ballots have sparked debate, raising questions about the democratic principles at play. Removing him from the ballot might seem anti-democratic on the surface, notes Hobbs, a Democrat serving his first term as Secretary of State. However, he adds a crucial perspective, but so is trying to overthrow your own country. These concerns reflect the deep divisions among elected officials, democracy experts, and voters on how to address Trump's bid to reclaim the presidency. While some, like Hobbs, believe voters should decide, others argue that Trump's actions should have legal consequences. Challenges to Trump's candidacy have been filed in 32 states, with varied success. These developments occur against the backdrop of a declining faith in the American electoral system, according to Nate Persily, a Stanford Law School professor specializing in election law and democracy. We are navigating uncharted constitutional territory to deal with these unprecedented events, says Persily, expecting the U.S. Supreme Court to weigh in. He hopes the court's ruling will bring clarity in a political and electoral system that struggles with ambiguity. Trump and his supporters criticize the disqualifications in Maine and Colorado as partisan moves that deny voters their right to choose. They accuse Democrats of hypocrisy for attempting to bar Trump after championing democracy in past elections. Despite the opposition, challenges based on the 14th Amendment's provision, prohibiting those engaged in rebellion or insurrection from holding office, persist. Legal experts like J. Michael Luttig commend Colorado's and Maine's decisions as constitutionally sound interpretations. In Los Angeles, some voters express ambivalence, torn between concerns about insurrection and the belief that the electorate should decide. Democratic-controlled California opts not to follow Colorado and Maine, emphasizing defeating candidates at the polls as the primary method. Yasha Melg, a political scientist, warns against premature disqualification, fearing potential misuse by red state officials and increased political divisions. The decisions in Colorado and Maine rest on hold and await a U.S. Supreme Court verdict. Election officials across states grapple with similar decisions. In Colorado, Secretary of State Jenna Griswold supports the removal of Trump from the ballot, acknowledging the bravery required in making such decisions amid increasing threats to election workers. The complexity of legal rulings surrounding Trump's candidacy prompts reflections on democracy. Adrian Fontes, the Democratic Secretary of State in Arizona, views it as a slow-rolling civics lesson, celebrating the complexity inherent in democratic processes.